Can you imagine a country where the wealth of the nation benefits only a select few, while the majority wallows in poverty? This is the harsh reality in Nigeria, where corruption has significantly hindered economic growth and development. The tendrils of corruption have woven themselves deep into the fabric of Nigerian society, permeating every sector, from education to healthcare, from the public sector to the private. It's not just about the billions of dollars lost to bribery, embezzlement, and graft each year. It's about the crumbling infrastructure, the faltering education system, and the widening gap between the rich and the poor. It's about the erosion of public trust in government institutions and the escalating social inequality. The impact is felt most acutely by the ordinary Nigerian citizen, whose dreams and aspirations are stifled under the weight of this endemic problem. Corruption in Nigeria is a complex issue that requires a multifaceted approach to address effectively. The first step towards combating corruption is strengthening Nigeria's legal frameworks. A fortified legal structure is the backbone of any successful anti-corruption campaign. By amending and enforcing anti-corruption laws to include harsher penalties for corrupt practices, bribery, and embezzlement, Nigeria can create a powerful deterrent against corruption. Moreover, the establishment of specialized anti-corruption courts can expedite the prosecution of corruption cases. These courts, focus solely on corruption-related offenses, will ensure that justice is not delayed and that the guilty face swift and certain consequences. But the fight against corruption doesn't end at prosecution. Implementing asset recovery legislation is equally crucial. This legislation allows for the confiscation of proceeds from corruption and the repatriation of stolen assets back to Nigeria. With a robust legal framework in place, Nigeria can deter corruption and ensure justice is served swiftly and effectively, creating an environment where corruption is not only risky, but unrewarding. Institutions play a crucial role in enforcing laws and maintaining order. Thus, enhancing their capacities is paramount in the fight against corruption. To begin with, we must ensure that anti-corruption agencies like the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Commission are adequately funded and resourced. This will empower them to effectively carry out their mandate, but resources alone aren't enough. We must also improve coordination and collaboration among law enforcement agencies, the judiciary, and anti-corruption bodies. By working together, these institutions can enhance their investigative and enforcement capabilities. Finally, within government institutions, we need to implement performance-based incentives and accountability mechanisms. Recognizing and rewarding integrity while punishing corrupt behavior will create an environment that encourages honesty and discourages corruption. By enhancing institutional capacities, Nigeria can improve enforcement of anti-corruption laws and enhance public accountability. Transparency and accountability are the cornerstones of good governance and are key to preventing corruption. To enhance transparency, Nigeria can strengthen procurement processes and financial management systems. This will ensure that government contracts and public spending are carried out in an open and fair manner, reducing the opportunities for corruption. The establishment of a central online platform is another important step. This platform will allow citizens to access information on government budgets, expenditures, and procurement contracts. Such a platform promotes transparency by shedding light on government operations, while also encouraging citizen engagement. Public participation is crucial in fighting corruption. By encouraging citizen monitoring and implementing social audits and whistleblower protection programs, we can expose corrupt practices and hold officials accountable. Through transparency and accountability, Nigeria can ensure that public resources are used effectively and responsibly. With these measures in place, we can build a Nigeria that is free from the shackles of corruption, a Nigeria that is prosperous and equitable for all. Leadership and socio-economic factors play a significant role in fostering or curbing corruption. To curb corruption, we must foster ethical leadership. This begins with implementing leadership training programs and ethics courses for public officials. By promoting a culture of integrity and ethical conduct, we can inspire our leaders to act in the best interests of the nation. But training and education alone are not enough. We must enforce strict sanctions for corrupt practices. Dismissal from office, forfeiture of assets, and lifetime bans from holding public office should be the consequences for those who choose to abuse their positions for personal gain. Moreover, leaders must demonstrate their commitment to anti-corruption efforts through their actions and policies. A strong political will can make a significant difference in the fight against corruption. But let's not forget, corruption doesn't occur in a vacuum. Socio-economic factors such as poverty, inequality, and lack of access to basic services can foster corruption. To address these root causes, we must invest in social welfare programs and poverty alleviation initiatives. By improving the living conditions of our citizens, we can reduce the temptation to engage in corrupt practices. Economic diversification and inclusive growth also play a crucial role. By creating employment opportunities, we can reduce dependency on rent-seeking activities that foster corruption. This, in turn, can lead to a more prosperous and equitable society. Access to education, healthcare, and other social services is another key element in this fight. By empowering our citizens, we can reduce their vulnerability to corruption. When people have the tools and resources they need to succeed, they are less likely to resort to corruption. By fostering ethical leadership and addressing socio-economic issues, Nigeria can create a conducive environment for reducing corruption. And remember, it's up to each one of us to do our part in this fight. Together, we can make a difference. In today's interconnected world, corruption is not just a local problem, but a global challenge that requires international cooperation. To combat this, Nigeria must strengthen its partnerships with international organizations, law enforcement agencies, and foreign governments. These alliances are crucial in tackling transnational corruption, money laundering, and illicit financial flows. Aligning Nigeria's laws with global anti-corruption standards is another essential step. This alignment could be achieved by ratifying and implementing international anti-corruption conventions, like the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. This would not only raise Nigeria's legal frameworks to global standards, but also foster a spirit of international cooperation. In addition, promoting international cooperation in combating corruption is paramount. This involves collaborative efforts in areas like intelligence sharing, joint investigations, and capacity building. By joining hands with the global community, Nigeria can leverage collective strengths and resources to fight corruption more effectively. With international cooperation, Nigeria can effectively combat transnational corruption and align its efforts with global anti-corruption initiatives. Corruption in Nigeria is a problem that affects us all, directly or indirectly. It's time to stand up, to support the anti-corruption initiatives that are striving to make a change. Let's participate in citizen monitoring programs, keeping an eye on the actions of those in power. It's our duty to hold our leaders accountable, demanding transparency, integrity, and justice. Together we can make a difference and create a Nigeria free from corruption.